Hey guys, this is Toytony, and we're here today because we are doing a new style of videos, and this series of videos is being reviewed by my good friend DJ. Like DJ, we all share a love of Transformers, and especially some of these new ones that are coming out are bringing us back to our childhood. And today we're going to focus in on one of my favorites, the Power of the Primes, Jazz.
All right, we are back, and this time we are going to be taking a look at the Power of the Primes Jazz. I don't know what order these are going to go up in. I did Swoop first, and Swoop is my favorite, and I'm doing him second, and he's definitely the worst out of the bunch. I'm not saying he's a bad figure. He's not. He's a good figure overall. He just has the most flaws and not the greatest. Now, we're not going to take a look at the package on the rest of these, but we will take a quick look at the collector card. And let's see if we can get him to focus. Focus. Nah, not quite. Almost there. Come on. Oh, you dirty. There you are. There you are. And again, just amazing artwork. I absolutely love the artwork on these. They are fantastic. Now we got here, this is the Prime that this card has got them linked with. Now I do believe the one I got for Tony has the exact same card in this case. Again, all of these are going to come with different cards that have different Prime Masters linked to them. So you never know what you're gonna get. Micronus Jazz. Power links to share his sound disruptor ability. Jazz gets a little sound wavy. How about that? All right, so let's talk about Jazz. So, when they started putting out a lot of the G1 Transformers in the Combiner Wars, which were ultimately just repaints and retools of pre-existing Combiner Wars figures, I didn't buy any of those. I was really not a fan of that. And, you know, I have a pretty big Classics Universe Generations collection already, and I had all of those in what I felt was much better figures. And the gimmick of forcing them to be combiners when they weren't dead, it really didn't do it for me. And you know, Jazz falls under that category for the same reason. I mean, I've got the Universe, was it Reveal the Shield Jazz, who, of course, this actually plugs in here, and that Jazz does not. So there's a point for this one. Yeah. But again, I wasn't really a fan of that. Now, when I saw this Jazz, though, I wanted to get it. Not because, you know, it's a combiner Jazz, but because I see this and I see GoBot's Crasher. I know the chest here is not right for GoBot's Crasher, but the rest of it is, and the alt mode especially is, and I wanted to repaint this into Crasher so bad and get a new head for him. But then some controversy popped up on this guy. I'm not going to go into details. You can go to some of the websites like Sabertron.com or you know, different Transformer boards. But there's some controversy over this little Autobot symbol that I couldn't even zoom in and see anything on there if I wanted to. Hasbro's have made an apology for it and basically have stated they got trolled. Yeah. Jazz is a successful troll. Suffice to say that he is now Donald Trump's favorite Transformer. Oh, that's so bad. Let's get a nice close look here, if it'll focus. Focus. There we go. On that head sculpt. It's not a bad Jazz head sculpt. It's just that, you know, his face is kind of smushed. In a way, it kind of reminds me of animated Jazz, but it's not great. The visor's pretty cool, though. Visor's cool. And the rest of the head sculpt is pretty spot on for Jazz. It's just, they kind of ramrodded that face there. And, you know, the rest of him, I mean, it looks like Jazz. It's a big, bulky, I got massive shoulders and forearms Jazz. Come down here. Whoa! I know he's white and all, but man, the color is just disappearing on this camera. Yeah, I guess my camera doesn't like it. My camera doesn't seem to like anything. Seriously, I need a better camera. So I've got his Prime Master hand thingy plugged in here onto his side. We'll take that out of here. And then he does come with a nice little silver gun. Kind of evocative of the way his gun looked in the cartoon, sort of. But, you know, all this hollow weirdness here kind of makes it look ugly. I mean, it's a nice silver. It's a very nice silver, but it's a kind of an ugly gun. So, yeah, just... Oh, come on. He didn't want to let go. So I forced him. Anyway, unlike Swoop, you can actually plug this onto Jazz's chest as it's shown in the different pictures and everything and how they're saying it's supposed to. Gotta flip this up. And on the thumbs here, you got these little tabs. In fact, they all have them. And if you look right here, you got sort of a little angled divots right there in the front grille. So you take these and you have to put them in at a bit of an angle. So you sort of round out the, like that. And there you go. Doesn't that look awesome? No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. That just looks so stupid. Oh, poor Jazz. He can't catch a break. Anyway, articulation, you can lift his arms up here, and then they swivel right there. So not quite a universal or a ball joint, but you got that. He's got ball jointed elbows, so that counts as a swivel. Again, the hollow arms. He's got swivels on his hands for some reason, even though you can't actually turn them because, you know, he's got this big piece of door hanging off the back of his arm. So there's that. Head is on a ball joint. You get a little bit of more movement out of it than the others do. A little up and down, side to side. Nothing special. He does have that Combiner Wars waist swivel where it's just his crotch that turns. And then, you know, this legs here, this is another reason why I think he looks so much like GoBot's Crasher, because he's got that whole bulky at the top and then turns into a thin post like the GoBots all had. So again, I so want to turn this into GoBot's Crasher. You get down here and get some nice glossy black paint and some nice silver. And pure black wheels with black rims. And again, here on the back, you got the spoiler. Nothing special, nothing fancy there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his robot mode. So we'll go ahead and get this guy transformed. Again, I'm not going to talk you through what I'm doing. You can pretty much see what I'm doing, hopefully. Hopefully, you know, I'll transform him like this. There you go. You see what I'm doing, right? Now, one thing I will say, this entire part of this car is clear plastic that's been painted over. You got these little tabs right down here, which you really can't see because they're clear, that plug in right there, as well as other tabs and places where he's supposed to plug into different things. And I already feel like this guy is going to be in pieces before too long. I mean, you got to really force some of this stuff in there. Hey, you stay. You stay like that. There we go. This is awkward. And there is GoBot's Crusher. I mean, Jazz in his car mode. No, seriously, this is totally Crasher's car mode. Or you can add a couple of more wheels onto it and, you know, made a different drag strip. Why not? In fact, his combiner arm mode really reeks of drag strip. Anyway, you've got, you know, Autobot Jazz here in tiny little print. You got his number 4, even tinier little print Energon, which I cannot get, I'm not going to get that to zoom in on that. And then the little tiny Autobots symbol in a square with a little bit of writing underneath it that caused a shitstorm online. You got his number 4, his Autobot logo, his blue stripes. You know, it's Jazz's colors. You know what to expect. And of course, he's got clear headlights, which you saw on the front because, you know, this whole thing is clear plastic that's been painted. Nice spoiler. Nice sculpted details in the back. But again, no paint back here. Except a little bit of, you know, black bleeding overspray. Yeah. So it's not Jazz like we're used to. Again, a sacrifice made for Combiner Wars, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see other versions of this mold as other characters. I think, you know, that's what they do. They usually do one that they think will sell first, and then, you know, the other characters afterwards. So I guess they decided, Jazz, why not? It's got some Titan Master pegs right back here, and then you know, he's got 3 holes up here on top, so you can, you know, plug his gun wherever you want to plug his gun into, and then take that ugly thing if you want to, flip that around and, you know, put it up here, or maybe turn it the other way so it's like a thruster, because it's got some little sculpted looking thrusters there. There's nothing special. It's not bad. It's not great, but yeah, rolls fairly well. So yeah, there you go. So without further ado, we're going to go straight... Oh, there's a truck again. We're going to wait for the truck, and then we'll go into his transformation into limb modes. Alright, so they're working outside, so you might hear a little bit of noise through this, but we'll try to get through this as painlessly as possible. Alright, so for his limb modes, we're going to do his foot mode first, because that's a little bit easier. And so wonky. So we'll talk about this a little bit, because if you look at the instructions, it doesn't really explain what you're supposed to do with these 2, you know, double folding bars here when you're going from mode to mode, and as a result it can be a little wonky. But just do that, and then you want to bring this in all the way up like that, and angle this down, and then tab that in right down there. If you do it that way, you give it a little bit of tension to sort of help hold it in place, whereas if you do it in the other way, it's just going to be loose, and you know, you would actually be able to shake it loose just by doing that. But doing it this way, you get a little bit of tension in there. And you know, I want to go stand by stating, you know, the way how that pretty much just looks like a car on top of a leg, I'm thinking of, you know, an updated Minosaur almost. I mean, really? And of course, you know, these guys don't have actual feet because they didn't do that. But, there he is, his leg. And then for his arm, totally surprising. We outstretch his legs like we're going to robot mode, because surprise, they all do that. We'll turn him this way. And then again, you want to take this bar and make sure it goes all the way up and snaps into the place there. And then he's got these little pegs here on the side that go into the arms, and that will hold him, for the most part, tight enough to, you know, be an arm. And again, you look at that, and that's pretty much how the Stunticons were supposed to be, even though they kind of weren't. Updated Minosaur. What can I say? And then again, just like before, unfold that, do that, that, and plug it in. And there you have Jazz as an arm. Decent sized arm. Now the downside with this is, you know, all this hollow bits are now where everybody can see them. I mean, I guess you could, you know, do it this way and forego the double jointedness, but then you kind of can't because those big bulky hips don't turn very well this way. They sort of snap into position. So yeah, kind of a letdown. I meant to do that. You proved me wrong. All right, so we're going to put him back in his robot mode and we'll go over our final thoughts. All right, so final thoughts on Jazz. It's not great. It's not bad. It just sort of is. I mean, like I said, I was never a fan of them turning all these characters into combiners when they weren't originally. I figure if you want to give us new combiners, give us new combiners. Make new characters. We're for that. But don't do this. If you like this look for Jazz, you'll like it. If you don't like this look for Jazz, you won't. He's a little bit fiddly in his limb modes, and I get the feeling that this guy is not going to last the test of time just because you've got all these tension tabs and points that use friction that are all on clear plastic. And I mean, it does feel a little bit more of a flexible plastic as opposed to, you know, the more brittle, stiff plastic, but you know, it's still, you know, the big deal with this guy is just the controversy over him, and it remains to be seen whether Hasbro is going to do anything with him or not. I mean, the controversy is so tiny and big, yeah, sure, but what the point of controversy is that little symbol right there, which most people can't see. Kids aren't going to see it, and unless you're a diehard fan, focus, that likes to, you know, translate Cybertronian, you're probably not going to know what it is. So I don't know. They may like recall these guys, or they may release another wave later that has that changed on it. Who knows? But because I don't know, I kind of felt like I had to pick them up. Tony kind of felt the same way, so we both grabbed them. Who knows? Maybe they won't fix it. Maybe they'll say, make Jazz great again. Anyway, that's been my look at Jazz. Again, once we film all 4 of these, we'll get together with Tony and we'll have him play with it and we'll see what he thinks.
Well, guys, that was our video for you today. Tell us what you think about it if you have comments. And if you liked our video, we would appreciate you going down there and pushing that little like button for us. And until we get back together, remember, you're never too old to love toys. I'm Toytony. We'll see you later.